Hey, I made it.
All right, everyone's just getting settled in the room. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Just while we're getting set up here, we're going to share a link to a website called MURAL. Maybe you've used it before, maybe you haven't. It's basically just a whiteboard that you're all going to be able to collaborate and weigh in on. So I'm going to put that link in the chat here shortly. But the amazing Adam is going to be hosting this workshop. So get settled in, and it's going to be a great hour. It's going to go by quickly too, I bet.
Let's hope. Do you want to throw that link in there, Ross? I don't even have the link to our own workshop here.
Oh, you bet. Yeah, I'll put it in right now. Here we go.
I think as I was logged in, the meeting was created by the Laura Koza account, and I was logged in as Laura, and you started first. So I think that's why it was giving me the sass.
Oh, gotcha.
Locked out of our own call here.
Well, we are all in here now. That's all good. So yeah, here's the link too.
We got 25 people on the call. Awesome. There we go. Woohoo! Loading. Okay, I hope this is definitely not the right one. Okay. So that's the one we were just in. Please stand by. I will share a fresh link.
This is maybe the first time there's been ever any technological issues during this strange quarantine period. I think we're all getting used to them, right?
Okay, so here we go. There we go. Take two here. Share, visitor link, copy link. Boom. I'm going to paste the real link this time, guys, into the chat to everyone. This is the real deal.
Nice.
Okay. Phew, that makes a lot more sense. I was like, this one's all filled out. All right, good day.
Yeah. Perfect.
Oh yeah, I got to change my name. Thanks, Laura. Hold on, rename. There we go. It's official. We're going into hyperspace. That was good timing. We are locked and loaded. I think everyone's here. 25 people. No one's sitting in the waiting room, Ross. This is it?
I think we are. Yeah, there were a couple more. Thanks. Yeah, they're just joining in right now.
Cool. I see a few familiar faces that managed to flip right over from the last session right into this one. My name is Adam, and I am the community animator for the Center for Changemaking and Social Innovation. And yes, that is a real title, believe it or not. My job is to help deliver and make programming and messaging surrounding the idea of change making. Georgian, you've made it. You've landed in the right place today. You've clicked on a series of links. You registered for Eventbrite. You did all the right stuff, and you made it in here. As Ross mentioned, I'm going to say this a few times. I'm going to give ourselves about 5 minutes to kind of wait till everyone else lands. I'm going to say this a few times. As you're landing into the Zoom call today, we are actually going to be participating in a space called Mural. So there's a link posted into the chat portion of the Zoom. So open your chat window, click on the Mural link, and that will launch a web browser window that will have Mural. And Mural, in a nutshell, is a digital whiteboard space. That's where we're going to be hanging out. We're going to create a couple of sticky notes, and we're going to engage. So if you want to get yourself, I'm already married, so I can't get engaged. We're going to engage via the Mural. So what's going to happen is if you want to get yourself comfortably set up, that you can hear my awesome voice that's fueled today by coffee and club soda. We're going to hear me speaking over the Zoom call, but we're actually going to be hanging out in the Mural space. I hope you got your mouse finger ready because we are doing some visual thinking today. We're going to be using the pen tool, which is awesome. And again, we just built this thing. I just finished building this, so it may explode the internet. I see a few people in here. So as you're landing into the Mural, into this space, click on step 1 right at the very top. So along the right-hand side of your Mural space, everybody, is the outline. And that's going to be kind of our rough roadmap for this session today. So if you click on step 1 in the outline, it will bring you to kind of the first place where we're all going to start landing and hanging out. So you'll see that warm-up exercises should be pretty prominent. If not, check out this amazing, hold on, check this out. Summon. 14 people, 13 people are following me. So it means a bunch of you guys on the call aren't in the mural yet. All right. So you see this, the very first warm-up exercise, as we're all getting familiar and landing into the mural space. It's real easy to participate. You double click on a stick to make a sticky note. You click once and you can type inside it. And today we're actually going to be using the draw tool. And so along the left-hand side of your mural is a little tiny pen icon. If you want to click on that, it will switch your thing to a pencil, and then you can draw. And when you're done drawing, you have to hit done drawing, I think, to switch back to a cursor. Oh yeah, we're gonna get some crazy scribbles. So if you actually want to zoom in a little bit, and that's the power of Mural here. I'm gonna zoom in, is not actually to make things bigger, but to zoom in and get a little bit closer. And that's how there you go. So claim yourself a little box. You don't have to stay inside the lines necessarily. I'm running a pretty loose ship around here, but if you want to claim a box and just do a little scribble, nothing vulgar perhaps, but a stick man, stick person is totally acceptable. Amazing. I see some giant sticky notes appeared at the top. I'm just going to kind of clean up those. So I'm hoping, I think we have everybody. There's no one else sitting out there, Ross. Waiting room is clear. Yeah,
it looks like we are, all good.
Oh, right. Also with me today, I have the amazing, on my screen, you're over here, Ross. Can you do a high five?
Do one of those,
Boom. Oh yeah, virtual high five. So I have Ross with me. He's our amazing co-pilot today. He's going to be manning the chat, hacking the matrix, downloading the FTPs, rerouting the encryptions, and bypassing the matrix, all to keep us running smoothly today on our workshop. So if you have any questions, throw them in the chat. PM him or DM him, whatever it's called in this platform. Message him if you can't get in or the link's not working. But so what I would like you to do right now, if you haven't, is click on the Mural link in the chat, get yourself into Mural and get that big and open on your web browser, because that's where I'm going to be talking. You're going to see me talking over here a lot. It's because my screen's over here. I'm not trying to be rude. I also look a little bit better from this side. Okay. So can I get a quick, at the bottom of the Zoom window is the reactions button. It's a little smiley face with a plus symbol. Hopefully you can all find it. If any of this is making sense, can I get a clap or a thumbs up? Yeah, you got one. We got a celebrate. Ah, yes, light it up with emojis. Let's see it. You're also, I would love it if you wanted to turn your camera on. That would be amazing too. Let me see your smiling face. It really helps me as a facilitator not speak to a giant grid of gray squares with white lettering, but I understand I'm not getting any sound. Anybody else having the same issues, or is this on my part? Someone's posted in there. I hope you can hear me. Yeah, I got some thumbs up. Yeah, I'm using my fancy dancy mic here like a real VJ. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna jump right into this. Now I'm gonna speak to the mural. So phase one, you guys are already nailing it. The warm-up exercise, claim a box and use the draw tool to create a scribble. I'm seeing some pretty awesome masterpieces appearing here. So some of you guys drew actual things, which is awesome. So what I'd like you to do now, how to draw. I am confused. No problem. So if you look at the left-hand side of your mural space, there's a toolbar down the left-hand side. The very bottom little icon or tool that you can choose is the draw function. So if you click on that, it's okay if you can't, it's not the end of the world. If you want to click on that little pencil, it will let you use your mouse to draw. It's pretty rudimentary. So hopefully that helps you out there. And if you can't draw, no big deal. Oh yeah, I got some big crazy scribbles going on. This is awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna say stop and pause, stop your drawings. All right, all the mouses stopped. It was kind of frightening here. So if you want to take 30 more seconds and turn your drawing, the one you've already done in your box, turn that into a bird. Do whatever you have to do to add some parts, adjust it thusly, and turn your scribble into some type of mutated, crazy hybrid bird thing with wings. I just want to see, there you go. Someone's added some wings to their smiley face. Yes, wings to a heart. Yeah, there we go. That's awesome, guys. And guess what? And guess what? You guys all just did some visual thinking. You did it. That's it. The workshop's over. You can have access to this recorded session when we're done. And you now know how to use the draw tool. No, I'm just joking. This is just a really simple exercise, A, to learn a new tool, and to B, to show you how to communicate visually, which is what this is all about. So let me zoom out a little bit. I'm in deep here. Okay. Oh, wow. You guys filled up this whole thing. This is awesome. 10 minutes. We're right on par. So I'm going to share a quick little video here. Hopefully that does not explode everything. If you stuck in draw, click done drawing. That's awesome. Yeah. Help each other. Oh yeah. Ross has got it. Okay. So I'm going to do this video is literally 30 seconds, guys. So this is going to be kind of recap exactly what we just experienced and the importance of being able to express your ideas, thoughts, and emotions visually without words. So let me cue this up here and see if I can not explode things. So share screen. 3, 2, 1. And let's hit play.
I was working on a project in Senegal, trying to understand what happens to farmers' harvests as they head toward market. We were asking this one farmer the same question over and over again in lots of different ways. What percentage of your tomatoes make it to market? Would you say you sell 4 out of 10 of your tomatoes, 7 out of 10? We just couldn't convey it, so we decided to draw it. We showed him this circle and said, fill in what amount of tomatoes of the total makes it to market. He made the drawing like this, and we knew the answer was about 40%.
So that was mind-blowing, right? I know, this riveting video. Does anybody want to share, either come off mic, which would be awesome, or maybe throw it in the chat, what you thought about that video? I know it was really short. There may not be a lot of meat on that bone to participate in, but does anybody have any thoughts about that video? It's okay if you don't, but I'm also okay to sit here in awkward silence for 30 seconds so I stay on schedule.
Hey, it's Ali. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
So I just thought maybe people sometimes cannot talk or give the meaning of what they think, but actually they can draw or show in actual something physical, more sense to them.
That's amazing. That's, yeah, that you nailed it. That's exactly it. So visual thinking is this beautiful thing where it goes beyond the written word. And so you're able to express your thoughts and ideas to people in these concepts. Oh, Ross found his virtual background. I was going to send you the Millennium Falcon, but it's reserved for the higher officials. Yeah, and that's exactly it. So it's a way to express that bridges the language. It's a visual language using colors, shapes, and all of those other great things, textures that can get your idea and concept away, across. So why is this important in the context of social innovation and the center? So why do you think that's important?
Maybe because it's lack of physical communication nowadays, because we cannot be in touch. Actually, because gestures are very important in communication. So because of lack of that, we can communicate what we can draw or show in graphic designs.
Oh, Carla. Carla, do you want to say something? Hello. That's awesome. Thank you very much, Carla. You're muted if you want to. And thanks for having your video on too.
Yeah, it makes a difference, doesn't it? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I haven't done many of these Zoom meetings, so I'm not too sure that I'm doing it all right. But this is great. Thank you. What a great experience. And yeah, I agree. Visual is so sometimes so much easier to communicate and just relays a message quickly. And yeah, it breaks language barriers. We can all work on this mural board in in unison. It's just fantastic. Yeah. So visual is so important. And as we know on video and pictures relate so much more in a very short time than words can.
Exactly. No, so you raised a great point about being able to collaborate. No, that's beautiful. You guys totally nailed it. And I think the biggest takeaway too is that quite often you're trying to express ideas and things that don't exist yet, concepts, things that aren't tangible. And quite often, in order to get other people to join in your vision or to get funding or to share an idea, people need to see to believe. So in order to do that, that's where visuals come into play. And that's why this is such an important tool to have in your kit, how to express things, how do you wireframe out, if you have an idea for an app or something like that, what's that look like, flipping through pages. If you have a concept it doesn't necessarily have to be an invention. It could just be a workflow or a campaign or any number of those things. So quite often, in order to share this abstract, this idea that's in your brain, how to get that out is using some visuals. Often as well to express, like myself, I'm not a huge numbers guy, not a huge words guy. So if you show me like a pie graph, like the example, or some bars that show me like that this amount of something is bigger visually, that totally makes sense to me. I get that. And that's kind of the importance, is like trying to like level the playing field and make all that information and those ideas accessible to everybody. So that's where the importance of visual thinking comes in. I'm actually going to get everyone to jump over to step 2. So on the right-hand side of your mural on the outline, if you click on step 2, this is essentially the conversation that we're having right now. You can answer with your draw tool if you want. That was cool. But if you want to double click to create a sticky note, and then click once to type in there, that'd be great. And maybe just throw down some of your ideas about what your thoughts on visual thinking are and the importance of it. Let's give everyone a minute or two. Oh yeah, I see some drawing. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, transforming information in a more efficient ways. Yeah, a great example that I like to express is my 3-year-old son. He's like, he's a pretty regular 3-year-old. So he can't read, obviously, he's only 3, but he can navigate around an iPad or a phone merely based on the visual cues. He knows that green means go, that X is close. Some of these things that are ingrained in us across all of our lives. We know that certain colors mean certain things generally, that certain symbols, reflect certain things as well. So the fact that this 3-year-old knows how to like close an app, knows how to knows that a circle with a home, a silhouette of a house means that it's going to get him back to where he was. All these very, very rudimentary basic things. This is communicating with symbols and colors. So it's able to, and this is where we're talking about a 3-year-old that could be across like countries or generations of people and age. These are some really common visual languages that exist. Oh yeah, so actually, Carla, here, I'll do a summon. This should work. We're on step 2. Now everyone's kind of seeing exactly where we should kind of be participating on the mural here as I'm speaking. I see some giant sticky notes. Again, if you can maybe zoom in to create your sticky note, not make a sticky note and make it giant. So if you want to zoom into the space a little bit, the mural space, using the thing at the bottom, that way we kind of get a common visual language here of everything being the same size. I've established the scale by creating a few sticky notes there. If you want to double click next to any of those sticky notes, you'll also create a new one and allow a little bit of time between when you're typing in what's happening, because we're all in here. But yeah, so something like Mural is a great platform in which to explore some of these ideas. And yeah, so the idea that we can still get a message across using very simple rudimentary things, or explain very complex, I guess just complex ideas through a set of very simple actions, colors, and shapes, is a really powerful tool to have to get your message across. ultimately, I come from a graphic design background. I've been a designer for almost 20 years now. I sound super old. I turned 37 next on December. So I've been doing design for a very long time. And essentially, in a nutshell, as a designer, like I said, I don't really read text. I don't do numbers. I act when I'm working with a client or a customer. My role is essentially to act as a bridge between the concept or idea that person's holding in their head and getting it out into a tangible space. So you act as this bridge between the two. And that's the role that visual thinking plays in that relationship. So that's a very, very, it's just a very strong thing to do. If you can nail some of these basic things, it will help you exponentially trying to express yourself and to get your ideas across as well. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. What did I set for that? We're right on time. So scroll down a little bit. And so this is the beautiful part, everybody. So I'm going to go summon with the power. There's some really great answers appeared up in the top there. And this is some of the things. So some people you don't have to be an artist to be a visual thinker. That's a little bit of a misconception. You don't have to be a creative person to be a visual thinker. So I've listed some of the kind of top character traits that you may already be doing that let you know that you already have this skill set inside you. And once you kind of establish that you have it, it's something that you can build upon, or just recognizing that you already have this ability allows you some space to start growing and nurturing it. So having an imagination and daydreaming. This is huge. Some people only live and exist thinking and reading entirely what's in front of them versus like staring out a window and imagining. So the power of imagination, huge when you're thinking about visual thinking. Drawing notes instead of writing them. This is something I didn't realize until recently, that my entire life, I was always a very poor note taker. And my books were just filled. I wish I had boats. My books were just filled with scribbles and doodles, but that's the way my brain processed while I was listening to lectures. As I was working my way through college, I would draw. Even to this day, I always keep a notebook and a pencil next to my desk. And the majority of it is very little writing, more symbols and scribbly gook with arrows and shapes and things kind of that are sorting ideas and flows and hierarchy. So the fact that you draw your notes instead of writing them may be an indicator that you're already kind of visually thinking. Or how many of you have been on a phone call? I've been on a phone before. I think we probably all have, but a phone call with another human. And as you're sitting there, doodly-doo, you're drawing, you're scribbling, even something as rudimentary as some circles and shapes, some swirls. I think everyone kind of has like a default thing they kind of doodle when they're on the phone. So maybe just make note of that little doodle. This is a huge one. There you go. This was a big indicator for me. I looked at some of my homework from being a little kid, and I always scored really high in art, but my writing sucked because I would always draw pictures. I would always try to draw comic books, or I'd always watch cartoons and movies. So where my wife is the opposite, she lives and thrives in the book environment, reading, writing. That's not my jam. I would much prefer to listen to a story being told to me or watch it through pictures. Even a movie with no sound to me is way cooler than reading a book. So if you see a preference for some of these more visually stimulating things, that might be an indicator of an interest that you already have, or in visual thinking, or that you are already doing these things. Again, this is just to help you maybe identify some of the stuff you're doing already. Recalling memories and dreams. So how do you sometimes hear the phrase photographic memory? I don't have that, but I'm not going Rain Man styles on stuff either. But how do you recall information when you're studying for a test? How do you make associations to other words? Do you associate those to pictures? Do you look around your room and say, yes, this thing reminds me of this color? So how are you forming those thoughts and recalling those memories? So often really experienced and hardcore visual thinkers refer to them as recall information as video clips and actual little mini movies. So again, being very visual in your mind and how to recall that information. And this is a fun one. Just even looking around at your current workspace or your sock drawer, you love to pack, stack, and organize. So whatever that looks like, not saying that everyone is hardcore, like everything's in a little cube in a mason jar with a label on it, but looking at some of these particular spaces that you might be in, you may have a very particular way that you like to organize. A great one for me that I love is looking at people's desktops. How do you organize your files on everyone has a desktop, whether it is like a tablet, their phone. How are you organizing your phone stuff? And what does your desktop space look like? I know a few guys that have just like 1,000 million icons on their desktop with no rhyme or reason, and they just rely on the search function in order. They're like, I know what's on the desktop, but I'll just use the search to find it, as opposed to it being in a category or a folder or a subfolder, and then color coding those. Everyone has their own systems for organizing thoughts and ideas, whether that be columns, lists, shapes, or colors. So just kind of identifying some of these things within yourself will really help you when you're wanting to grow and nurture this ability that we all have, this visual thinking tool. So I'm just going to check my time here, right on time, 3:27. That brings us to our amazing activity. So this will be fun. So I built this thing. I'm assuming it should run smoothly, but what's going to happen here, guys, is I'm going to bring you over to, first of all, I'll just pause here. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Am I making sense? Are you having some light bulbs going off? Any aha moments? Thumbs up if it's all kind of, all right, cool. Sweet. All right. Okay, guys. Actually, yeah. So what I'll do is I'll do this. Boom. So if everyone, I got 20 people following me, this looks good. So if we're all looking at right here, so what's going to happen in this activity, I think I'm going to allow 10 minutes. We'll see how far we get, and that will allow for a little bit of like kind of chat afterwards. So what I've designed here to really test out A, your mural skills, and B, your visual thinking, your collaboration, your teamwork, all of this stuff is going to be put to the test in this, what I call the visual thinking obstacle course. So in a moment, Ross is going to break us into, don't put me and you in a room, Ross, let us hang back here, just so it doesn't get too confusing. I'm going to think we got 30 people, 31, maybe how many rooms did I build? Let's do 3 people per room. So 10 rooms, maybe one of the rooms will have a bonus person. Does that make sense? So you're all going to be sent into a breakout room, which I hope most of you are familiar with breakout rooms at this point. You'll be segregated off into your own little Zoom call with 1 or 2 other people. So you'll go, oh, hey, cool, nice to meet you. What you're going to do is in the mural along the right-hand side, you'll see where it says room 1, 2, 3, 4. What you're going to do is click on the room that corresponds with the breakout room you're in. So Ross will break us into rooms. You'll join room 2 with your 2 other people, and then you guys are all going to click on the room 2 on the mural, and that's going to bring you guys to the same shared working space, which is the starting line of this visual thinking obstacle course. So follow the instructions. It should be pretty straightforward. We'll do a 10-minute timer on it, and then what it will do is it will automatically bring everybody back to this space, and we can talk about the activity. If you get stuck on a step, don't fret, maybe just skip it. It is a bit of a, it's a bit of a challenge. I wanted it to be a little bit of friendly competition. I'm really interested to see how everyone interprets what's going on, as well as works together, using their voices, using pictures, using words. So does that all make sense to everybody? Can I get a thumbs up or a yes or a no to make sure that, cool. The same 3 people are the only ones that understand whatever I'm talking about. That's okay.
I will say before we go into breakout rooms, so you'll get a notification on Zoom that will have you accept your entry into a breakout room. And also, I don't think the chat from the main Zoom copies into the breakout room. So the latest link, the app Mural link that's posted in the chat right now. And I'll post it again here too, in case, because there were a few latecomers. If you haven't already, opened that Mural link, it looks like there's maybe about 10 folks or so that haven't. Make sure to click on that before we dive into the breakout rooms here. So there it is again. Have a window open up with that on your computer, and I will get us into breakout rooms.
Awesome.
Right now.
So as Ross is priming that, like he said, accept the invite that's you're going to be prompted with. If you make it to the end of the obstacle course, follow the instruction. When you finish, leave your breakout room if there's still time, because essentially it's a race. So I want you to get to the end of the race, leave the breakout room, come back to the chat, and put your team name in the chat. It will all make sense. But when you get to the end, leave your room and come back here, because that's how we're going to know who finished. Okay. What's the task for the breakout room? You'll see it when you go into your breakout room. Click on the mural room that corresponds to that and follow the instructions. You're going to be working along left to right along an obstacle course with your team. It's all very easily laid out in instructions. So Ross, you ready? We're going to get 10 minutes, everybody, to do this. If it blows up, don't worry. We're all going to end up back in this space in about 10 minutes, and we can talk about what worked and what didn't work.
All right, I'm just assigning the rooms now, and so you should be getting an invite within the next 30 seconds or so if you haven't already gotten one. So just make sure to accept that invite, and that will get you into the breakout room, and then you'll go to Mural and go to the corresponding room on the Mural.
Oh yeah, so cool. I see a few people working. We've got a lot of people hanging out. Have you launched the rooms there? Are you doing one at a time there, Ross?
I'm just assigning to keep us to make sure that we're not in them.
Gotcha.
But just a few people left to assign here.
Still shows 33 people in our main call here. Oh, you haven't launched it yet? Oh, I see. You're adding them in, and then you're going to hit open rooms.
Open all rooms, yeah.
Gotcha. See, we're figuring this out. We got this.
There you go. Okay, so you should be getting an invite right now if you haven't already.
There we go. Everyone's disappearing. Accept your invites. Woo, 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 woo. Whoa. All right, so maybe these people, are you guys with us? Did you accept your invites? Make sure you click on the accept to go to your room.
Looks like most people are in. Oh, here we go. Sorry, some folks still don't have. Okay, there we go. If you still are waiting on an invite, I'm on it. Sorry if I missed any folks there.
You got me. I'm gonna say later.
Oh yeah.
I guess you could have done assign randomly, and then we could have just, I think, denied.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I think.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so everyone should have invites now. And looks like most rooms have some folks in them.
These folks back on. Oh, okay, yeah. Some people may be in on their phones, so maybe they won't. That's the hard part. Depending on the device that they've called in on. You guys can just hang out with us. I'll put a 10-minute timer on here. On the mural. I think you set the actual room for 10 minutes too.
I didn't see that actually, to be honest.
Okay, so I'll start. The mural space has a timer. I just set it, so it'll be all good.
Gotcha.
And then you can force close the room. So when this gets to like 1 minute left, it gives a 60-second warning, and we'll pull everybody back. So give everyone a minute to kind of read the instructions. I'm really curious how it's going to work, but did you take a look at it at all, Ross?
At the activity?
Yeah.
Or this isn't the one, since this isn't the one we looked at earlier.
Yeah, I can't believe, I don't know why our wires got, I logged onto the call, and then Nicole jumped on, and I was like, hey, Nicole, like, I'm happy to see you, but I thought, anyway, it's just kind of funny.
No, yeah, that's we're ironing out the kinks on day one here, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You can pause the recording too if you want for the 10 minutes.
Oh, sure. Yep.
Woohoo! We made it. Everyone came back. You survived. We got everybody back. 35 participants. Team 2, someone threw into the chat. Team 2. There's the trophy. Where did your trophy go? Yes, you voted. There it is. Awesome. You guys did it. So you're the first group ever to successfully survive the visual thinking obstacle course. Awesome. And I see a few people brought their trophies back to the podium. We got some people responded and put their team name in the chat. So does anybody want to talk about or share their experience? I'm not able to hear anything. I'm not on mute, I think.
Yeah, you're not in mute.
Oh, there you go. So maybe Gustav, you might want to turn your phone up. So does anybody, we have about 15 minutes left. I'd really love to hear your feedback, comments, frustrations, what worked, what didn't work on the obstacle course. Does anybody want to share? Maybe come off mic or throw it in chat.
So I just want to start.
Yeah.
Again. So it was a fun experience. I experienced one glitchy moment when I want to try bring the trophy at the start. So
Yeah.
it just glitched and freeze. But other than that, everything was smooth and fine. And the way all the people can do the same thing at the same time, and you might ruin the work of other people, and then that was fun. And it was good that they can just work together at the same time, and you can just jump in another action, do it faster, and leave it the rest to your team. So that was cool.
That's awesome. So you guys, so some people were working on certain steps because that was easy for them to do, and so you maybe skipped one and left it for somebody else to do another action. So together you were able to kind of do a bunch and then go back and figure out the few that you had missed. So you worked together as a team for that.
Yeah. So because I didn't realize at the first I might ruin other people's work. So when I see their cursor on some task, I leave it to them and go to the next one.
Okay.
So because I trust my teammates, so I know what they do. So I go to the next step.
Awesome. Were you able to chat with your teammates like on the Zoom call, or was everyone mics off and no one wanted to chat?
So we greet, but I couldn't hear anymore. Maybe we were focused.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for the share. And that's really neat to know about the tech hiccup with some of the glitchiness bringing the trophy back. Does anybody else want to share their experience? Oh, wow, this was such a stressful experience, but I actually enjoyed it. The only reason I could not have completed was because I was a bit late. So yeah, that time restraint of the 10 minutes, was that too much time, too little time? Because you were learning new skills. A lot of you guys had only learned the pen tool and the sticky note in Mural, not how to do a lot of that additional stuff. So you guys on the fly were communicating with your teammates and learning new skills all in a very, very short amount of time.
Yeah, super impressive.
Challenging.
Super impressive to watch. I was just gonna say, like, to see what was happening in Mural, considering most folks are brand new to it, like very, very well done. I think everyone should pat themselves on the back. Sorry, Ali, go ahead.
Yeah, that was challenging. That you were new to some stuff, so you need to upload some stuff, add some stuff from somewhere, change the sticky shape and other stuff. So it was challenging, but yeah, that was fun.
Awesome. So I just did a summon so you guys can see, this is what, like, because you can zoom in and out. We were all working on the same space at the exact same time, just on different sections. So this shows you like a bird's eye view of what everyone was doing. So if you look at your mural, so you're able to zoom out and look at how far everybody made. It made me so happy to see all the pictures of Nicolas Cage pulling in there. That made my heart super happy. Yeah, does anybody else, we have a few minutes left. Does anybody else want to share what worked, what didn't work for them during this exercise? Maybe some key takeaways or anything like that?
This was funny. Like, the task was really nice, but I'm just confused, like the way. Okay, so we saw the tasks and they kind of do not connect with each one. For example, in the first task, you ask to add like a country or something like that. And at the end of the tasks, you ask to add Nicolas Cage. So it was strange a little bit. So question, yeah, why?
Yeah, just variety, right? So it was meant to keep it a little, you always want to like kind of ride that razor's edge between stressful and fun. So starting off with a really simple question about grounding, like, grounding yourself with where you are currently. That's a really easy question to answer. And then as you're building up momentum through the activity, getting a little more comfortable, and trying to keep the steps varied. So having the Nicolas Cage thing in there was literally because I could build it and I was the one who did it. And that's what I wanted to see. That's it could be anything, but that's what I wanted to see. So I'm so glad that you guys embraced that silliness. Yeah, really, really impressive, guys. And again, I tried to combine a bunch of different things like the emoji story. This is another really relative way of communicating like visual thinking. So you can have entire conversations via emojis nowadays. This is a whole different workshop, but the whole texting culture and chatting culture that has established this sub language that we're all able to communicate in a very short amount using a simple picture. Emojis is probably the best example that everybody can relate to of how you communicate visually. Something as simple as a thumbs up or a heart. These speak volumes that you've read the information, that you get it, that you enjoy it. It doesn't necessarily need to warrant a full-on response, but it's something, a very quick, simple little shape speaks volumes. So that's something that we probably all do every day, and you never really thought about it, but that's visual thinking in the wild.
Yeah.
We got
Just noticing there's just a quick question from Carla in the chat here about an example of how it was done. I think, like, to Adam's point, like this activity was about jumping in with 2 feet, just playing around in a sandbox, seeing how it works. But in terms of using this actual platform, there's tons of great YouTube content, other ways, instructions on how to be building in these pictures or different engagements. So I'll find that YouTube channel too and drop that link in the chat there as well. I don't know if Adam, you want to add more to that too?
So you wanted an example of how the actual mural was built? Is that my understanding, or the tool itself?
Or the pieces added, maybe?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is that all right? Okay. You know what? I went into the room 10 and I could see a trophy, but I didn't see any instructions or anything like that. And I was the only one in there, but I might have been in the completely wrong space. There was another screen where I was speaking with, I think it's still open, with one other change maker. And it was just a black screen with his name across it. I've got Yustav Patel, and I were in this room, but he wasn't on the mural. And also, I haven't been able to sign in properly. Maybe that's why. For some reason, when I try to sign into the mural, it won't accept my email, and so I have to sign in as a visiting.
So you weren't able to. So when you landed in your room, we only have a minute here. So I just summoned. Are you able to? So you like landed on this where it says breakout room 10 with the instructions, the task, and the goal, and all of that stuff.
Is that you right there? Was that your cursor on task?
Yeah, this is me. Yeah. You're Carla, the visiting owl.
Can you can see my mouse right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm just catching up to all this. So I double clicked and I made this. That was the task, was to make a sticky.
No, the task was to follow. See the starting line right to the right there.
Oh, here.
Yeah, so it's a big long stretch of instructions to follow along in sequence.
Oh my God, okay.
It's all good. See, that's all part of it. Different user experiences. This is awesome, and that's what it's all about. And it's really interesting when you build something like this and put it out into the wild. Everybody's expectations, everybody's comfort levels. Again, leveling the playing field. Next time I might even run it where we don't have our microphones on at all, so we are actually only communicating visually. That would probably amplify the challenge level as well. That's awesome, guys. I just wanted to say great job. This is really cool. I didn't know what to expect. So hopefully you can self-identify a little bit more about the visual thinking that you're already doing. And again, the biggest takeaway is that often in the Center for Change Making and Social Innovation or in your life, you're trying to see to believe. You're trying to explain ideas and concepts that don't exist tangibly. So you have to get that messaging across and get other people to share in that vision in order to help it build up energy and momentum. And that's what it's all about. So I hope if anything, that's kind of the takeaway. Maybe you're like, I am a visual thinker. I doodle all the time. So there you go. And now you know a little bit more about Mural as well. And that's kind of all the information I have. If anybody has any questions about anything, I'd be happy to answer. I don't have another call, which is awesome. So I can actually hang back on this one for a few minutes. If anybody wanted to chat or has any questions, I'd be happy to help. Otherwise, you are free to go. You will make sure, and some people had questions in the last group about how you get points for this. That's as long as you've made your changemaker profile, you will be awarded the points for attending the session. That's something we do on the back end. So I'm sure you're hearing and learning a lot of new things about innovation capital or attending courses to get points and profiles. Don't worry about all that stuff. As long as you've made your profile, you'll make sure that you get the credit you need for going through this as well. So that's it. I hope you had a fun time.
Awesome.
There you go.
That was fast, actually.
Yeah, it was a fast hour.
That was, yeah.
I was like
that was
spreading.
really fast hour.
Yeah, I was up all night. Like I've never, I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared. But you guys are awesome. Thank you very much. Like my heart rate will now subside to normal human levels. Yeah, and this video is recorded, so you can actually catch it on the YouTube channel with the link to this mural as well. If you wanted to watch the video again or just participate in the mural again. Mural is a name of a program. You're going to hear that a lot in the months to come as programming and stuff and virtual learning is being developed by the school and stuff like that. Again, just trying to think of new ways we can all participate and engage in this space that we all share now. So yeah, and my biggest like takeaway to you is when you're doing this stuff and signed into your workshops, try to add your profile picture. Try to have your camera on, because as a teacher, as a facilitator, as another human talking to another human, remembering that there's a person on the other side of that computer is really important. Having the empathy and the compassion that we don't all have sweet internet connections, that we we don't all have 3 monitors, and knowing that we are going to have those hiccups along the way. So at least if you have a picture associated to your digital profile, it just adds that human element, and that speaks volume. How we earn IC? Well, if you attended and registered for this event, you will get your innovation capital. And if you want more information, absolutely reach out to us and we can pass along all the deets on that stuff. Cool.
I'm going to sign off. Thank you. That was really interesting.
All right,
really
guys. Thank you very much. That was a lot of fun.
We'll see you.
Yeah.
Have a nice day, guys.
Thanks, you too. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
So, excuse me, just to clarify, you said that about those points. So we just need to wait, yes. And as long as we created like an account on that site, on that website, we will see all the points after, right?
Exactly. So you created whatever email you created your profile with. I'm hoping is the same email you registered for the event with. Okay. And on the back end, we're able to just associate or award the points based on who registered for the event to the profiles, so that all that stuff will be taken care of in the back end. And if you don't, for some reason, don't see it, just reach out to us and we'll make sure that it gets prorated. Again, we're figuring this all out as we're going here. You guys are along on this journey with us. So this is, I'm sure we're gonna hit some roadblocks and some hiccups, but we'll figure it all out.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you for the class. That was good.
You're welcome.
Perfect.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah.